Stories, I'm a fool for your love.
Hey guys, welcome back here to Snowman86. You join me again on Cattle and Crops. Today we are cultivating. So there is a contractor in spreading liquid manure, and we have the job of cultivating it in. So we won't waste any time and we'll get straight at it. For those keen-eyed viewers, you will have noticed we are at the start of year 2 and we failed to drop our implement. It's a good start. So that's a bit rougher. So as I was saying, we have started year 2, so as you can see our bank balance is looking kind of healthy, and we've completed a good chunk of the missions. There's a couple of small missions left, but we'll proceed through them as we get to them. So as I said, for today we're just simply cultivating in manure. That you can see, I don't know if you can see it there, slightly in the distance. There is a tractor working in the field down there. So what I'm going to ask here in the comment section, guys, if you get a chance, is what do you want to see, or where do you want to see us go next in terms of, instead, I suppose, doing it different to the way we did it originally, where we went away and bought a bigger tractor, or is that something you still want to see? Or do we go straight in and just buy a seeder and pick up a couple more fields and start working crops ourselves, leaving the kind of starting fields untouched a little bit, just so we can get missions done, while also working our own ground? So that's up for debate today. As I say, if you have any suggestions on what you want to see next, by all means please leave it in the comments below, guys, and I will do my best to react to it, and accordingly plan forward and videos going from there. But as I say, are you not fussed and we just kind of keep going the way we're going, or do you want to see something slightly different? As I say, in which case we pick up more land, pick up cedar, and that way we're able to do our own crops kind of straight off the bat, instead of maybe waiting for the end of year 2 before that process kicks in. Or are you happy for me to invest in a larger tractor? I suppose the one thing I didn't use in the previous save was that MB track. Just something I never really used. I ended up kind of trading it in for the bigger tractor. So if that is something you'd like to see, again, let me know. For now, as I say, we have this job of cultivating, and we are just going to tip away here at this. I think it's kind of 3 fields to do by the time everything is said and done. So we are not using GPS today. We're going to freehand at least this field anyway. We'll see how we go as we're going. The reward for this one is the cultivator we're currently using we get to keep, so we can sell our smaller one, which I think is a 3-meter one, and this one I think it's 4, so should make working just a little bit easier. Wasn't sure what way the dog was going to go there. So as I say, we've advanced to year 2, so looking forward in the game, missions will start kind of thinning out from here on in. There's a couple to do. I think one is planting maize, and that's more for bulls. Again, there's another bull mission to do. There is the contractor. You might be able to see him a little bit better now as he pulls out of field 16. So we'll be cultivating that field as well. So yeah, we do have a couple more bull missions to do. As I say, there's a couple more contracting missions. So there is one where we'll end up eventually with that tanker that you see over there, or you saw over there, I should say, even say. So we can do a mission to pick that tanker up, which we will be doing, because a very handy bit of gear to have, especially once we start working the BGA to its full capacity. For those wondering where the money came from, that's exactly where it came from. I think maybe, I want to say maybe 20,000 was done on bulls, and the rest of that money, I think we start with, is it 100,000? So we've made about 120, 125 off of, the majority of that is off the BGA. A small amount will be from the starting missions. So as I say, we have enough money to pick up more land. As I say, the one thing I do think we should get is a seeder, but if not, we can continue to rent one out as well. There's no problem. So really, for the next rush on this anyway, the decisions will hopefully be made by you guys. So if you want your state, leave it in the comments. If you're happy with the way things are progressing, again, you can throw it in the comments, but maybe just let me know that you're happy with the way it is. Yeah, we'll just see how it plays out then this second year, and then into the third year we should be kind of more or less free to do what we want. So again, if there's anything in particular you want to see me aim towards, by all means, again, as I say, drop it in the comments and we'll do our best as we go. So he's also spreading, I think that is field 13, so we'll be hitting that field as well. I think it's 3 or 4. Now obviously I'm not going to show them all today, but we will definitely get this field done. We'll see where we end up next on the mission list, where it'll tell us to head for. And I'm sure these will be put back to maize. Could be wrong on that, but I'm sure there is a maize mission where we have to fill our silos for cattle. So I can't kind of just plant willy-nilly in fields that we start with in the game. But as I say, pushing forward, if we pick up any fields, those fields won't be involved in any missions, so we can then plant our own seed on it, or plant our own crop even, sorry. So we're rolling in on the end of August here and recording of this, and still no official, I think, date announced yet, not that I've seen anywhere anyway, for the release of the game, but hopes are that it's still aiming for that kind of maybe end of October, start of November. Most titles release around that time. That is to pick up the Christmas markets. Obviously there is the big release of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox as well to be announced, so lots to be doing. But we're more interested here in cattle and crops, so we keep our eye to the, I was going to say eye to the ground, but it's ear to the ground, and our eyes peeled, and we'll see what we can come up with. So we don't need the menu, so we're just going to disable that. So it really is a pretty game. I must say I do like it. So we're currently doing, I think it's 8 miles an hour. Oop, I'm wrong on that. That wasn't our speedo. Forward a bit more. Hope he's not beeping to say I'm in the way. That's exactly what he's doing. The one thing I'm noticing there is our dash isn't quite displaying our speed. I thought it did. Is it somewhere else? Zoom in on that. Nothing on the pillar. There seems to be a vent. Dash seems to be stuck at 0.2 miles an hour. Not sure why that is, and it also seems to be stuck in reverse. Again, not sure why that is. So that normally does work. Not sure if that's a bug or what's causing that, but normally that dash does display speed and the gear you're in, but for some odd reason it's not doing it now. So we're slowly getting there. There are those pesky trees. And this is one thing that is nice about Catnip Crop, some funky things going on there on the mirrors as well. This is one thing that's nice about it, you can really just kind of relax and be kind of fully hands-on with it too. Don't always have to be using GPS, you can make it man lazy as well. So that's what's nice, you can go fully immersive and kind of play it hardcore. That is one thing actually, as I spotted it there as I was looking behind me, and I'll do it here on the next passes. We'll probably hit the same issue. When you hit a puddle of water, which you see there's a few out there in the ground, it doesn't show kind of signs of being worked or looking to disperse. Small minor thing, the fact that it actually displays wet spots is fantastic. And maybe I'm being overly fussy here in wanting. Actually, as we look up there, it's a good indication of what I'm on about now. We've worked a bit of ground there, and you can still see it is holding water on the surface, which it would to a degree, but I think when you work it, some of it would dissipate through the ground. Again, open to be corrected if I'm wrong on that. And we've yet to really find ground, or I've yet to come across it where I'm playing where the ground is so wet that the tractor actually kind of gets stuck or sinks. So again, if that feature was implemented, although on close inspection as I look at it, it does look like it's been worked. It's just the shader, I'd say, or the texturing. There's no way we're raising dust today. Yeah, I've yet to come across an area where the tractor gets fully stuck, and even if you want, it kind of just sinks into the ground. Um, I know at the very beginning, I've seen features where tractors were pulling other tractors out of fields and with full loads on the back. But maybe I just haven't come across the right scenario yet. Have to see. Make sure there's no trees. So we're nearly done with one field. I say nearly done. We have the headlands left to do. As I say, I'll probably do. We'll see how it's going. We might do maybe another bit of a field, but for the most part, we'll finish it off camera, and that way we can keep the momentum going here. Because as I say, now we're kind of into year two. We're kind of left more to our own devices. We can jump external again for a little bit. So we did purchase a weight for the tractor as well. Some of you might notice that they're sitting on the front. Once we picked up this cultivator, we discovered that the weight of it when traveling down the road would lift the front axis, make our steering very light and nearly non-responsive. So with that in mind, took a responsible decision and purchased a weight. I know I've probably said this already in several videos, but really it's just a pretty game. Excuse me. I love how the ground deforms. So I say such a simple thing, but it really is just such a small kind of, I don't want to say a small feature, but it's just such a feature that I think has been overlooked in previous versions of farm games, and it's nice to see it be rectified here. We're slightly off track. But for the most part, our little class is performing quite well. Just skirt around the outside of that tree and we're back online. Just straighten ourselves up. The other question we're looking for as well is which seeder we go for. We have a couple of options, and we can quickly just actually park here and jump to our store. find it. So we have one option here, which is the hammer Corn King. That has two seed units. One is a standard corn seed unit and the other is for grain. So if you purchase one of them, we are working with that, but that also incorporates the ability to be able to cultivate. And the next one, again, we have one here, which is two models, a 6 meter and a 3 meter, I believe it is. And again, that is for usable seed type maize only. And the last one is, not sure what happened there. The last one is here, and again, that only is 1 unit, I believe. Yep, 1 unit and 3 meter unit, but you can then plant your grass, barley, rye, and wheat. So we can either pick up those two options, or we can go for the Hammer King. I don't think there's a third or fourth option or third option even. So we're either picking up 2 units or 1 unit with 2 different rear attaching. So leave it be your choice. We'll see what we go for. The Hammer King is 6 meters across the board, whether the other two would be smaller implements, 3 meter implements. So drop our handbrake and away we go. So if you want to see either of those, let me know. But we'll definitely be picking up a seeder, as that's one thing we didn't do last time. Oh. So we're just going to finish this last headland here. I think it's a bit rough, so we're going to definitely look to finish it. That's the one thing as well, when the missions are finished, you they do tend to kind of throw you into a field, or kind of get 90% of a field done before the mission kind of kicks in. So at least when you're doing a field yourself, you can actually 100% wipe out the field, get it done. So we make that turn. Probably shouldn't turn with the pit in the ground. Just a few tire tracks we want to cover in as we're going. And we'll back up for information, and we're looking to go to field 16 next, which is literally across the road. Now, I will say the difference is here where we have tire tracks and stuff with the standalone seeders, the two Lemkins, they probably won't cover that in all that well. You'll still be left with a bit of tire tracks, whether the Hammer King sorry about that. The Hammer King should in theory then cover all tracks from the field, as it does cultivate as well. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well when we're picking our seeder. So we're going to strike down here to field 16 and we'll make a start. So we're just going to go for the bottom of the field here, where it's nice and wet. Look at that for a sheen of water across the surface. So before we end, we're just going to quickly attempt something here. I'm going to try and get stuck. So I think here's probably a good enough attempt to start it. somewhere here. I think we're in a nice pile of wet ground, so we're just going to drop in. So it's pulling away there, so if we just handbrake on, oh, we're sliding something savage there. What I wanted to do is toggle 4-wheel drive. So toggle 4-wheel drive, and it's pulling remarkably well. Little bit of wheel slippage. But it did that handy enough. Interesting. We're just going to get back down here to roughly where we were. Class as a fail, and we'll just keep going. So we're not going to bore you anymore, guys. We're going to keep working away here. As I say, let me know in the comments below what you want me to do with the surplus cash we have at the moment. Will we start buying implements, or do we pick up more land on the hope that our 2 tractors we currently have, which is this one and the Mercedes-Benz, are able to do the work we require? They probably are, to be fair. But either that, or we'll go away and we can pick up a couple of bigger bits of implements in gear and see can we make life a little bit easier, quicker. But again, I don't think there's a need. To be fair, the game has a full year calendar built in, and we can kind of advance time as we feel. So probably not the need to have the biggest gear in the world and be racing through the work. Probably best to leave it be kind of a slow paced burner, and we'll get to work done. So that being said, guys, I'm going to tip away here off camera, going to get this field done, and I definitely know we have to go to field 13 and probably one more after that. As I say, let me know which direction we should go with it. And as always, guys, thanks very much for watching. I've been Snowman86, and this has been Cat and Crocs, and I'll catch you again. Take care.